Te despiertas in the Willow cottage that never locks its door y encuentras una taza de té caliente que tú no preparaste esperándote en la mesa. Tonight, the story of a small cottage that sits low beside a willow pond and has not locked its door in 100 years. You don't have to understand it yet. You only have to let your shoulders drop into the pillow and feel the mattress take the whole weight of you. The room around you can go soft at the edges. Somewhere out past the reeds, water is moving slowly, the way it always has, long before you were born. There's a lamp still warm on the table and a chair pulled a little away from it, as if someone rose quietly and left the seat for you. Nothing here needs anything from you. Not tonight. Let the day you carry set itself down by the door. Let the tea steam rise and curl and thin into the cool air. We'll walk toward the pond together, without hurry, and the little cottage will show us, slowly, why its door was never meant to close. Let your breathing find the slow rhythm of the water outside. In through the nose, easy. Out through the mouth, slower still. There's no clock in this cottage that matters now. The willow leaves brush the window in a long, soft sweep, and then go still. On the table, the tea cools a shade, and its steam thins to almost nothing. The walls are old pine, warm with 100 winters of lamplight. If your thoughts are still walking around the room, let them sit down. You're allowed to arrive here fully. The bed holds you the way the bank holds the pond, without effort, without asking. Outside, the reeds lean and settle, and with every slow breath, the edges of the day grow softer, until the only thing left is this small, warm room and the quiet, patient sense that you were expected here and that you are welcome to stay as long as you like. The keeper of this cottage was an old woman the village called Marin. You'd never have seen her face full on. She moved at the edges of rooms in lamplight, always half-turned towards some small task. Each evening, she followed the same slow round. She banked the fire down to a low orange glow. She wiped the long pine table with a cloth gone soft as moss. She set the kettle near the coals, so warmth would never be far away. And last of all, she checked the door, not to lock it, never to lock it, but to make sure it swung free and easy on its hinges. She'd rest her palm flat against the wood a moment, the way you might steady a sleeping animal, and then leave it as it was, unbarred, waiting, ready to open at the lightest push from the dark outside. Marin had lived by the willow pond her whole life. She knew the water the way a shepherd knows weather. She knew the summer when the pond lay flat and green and dragonflies stitched the air above it. She knew the autumn when the willows dropped their gold into the shallows. And she knew the other seasons too, the wet ones, when the rain came down for days and the pond forgot where its banks were. On those nights, she kept the lamp burning in the window a little brighter. She'd sit in the pulled-back chair with a wool blanket over her knees, mending rope or turning the pages of a worn logbook, and she'd leave the door open a hand's width to the cold. Not from carelessness. Never from carelessness. There was a reason older than she was, passed down the river valley from door to door, and tonight, slowly, it comes back to us. The cottages along that river were built low and close to the water because the willows liked the wet ground and the people liked the willows. In good years, it was a gentle place to live. Ducks in the reeds, boats tied loose at the little jetties, bread cooling on windowsills. But the river had its own mind, and no one in the valley pretended otherwise. It rose when the far hills gave up their rain. It came in the night, patient and quiet, sliding over the low fields while the village slept. And so the people made an agreement, not written anywhere, just lived. A rule kept in the hands and the hinges, in the habit of every household by the water. On the nights the river climbed, no door in the valley would be locked. It was simply how things were done, from one lamp-lit window to the next. Think of what that meant on a dark night with the water rising. A neighbor caught out on the low path, boots already wet, a lantern wavering in the wind. In most places, he'd have to knock and wait, cold and worried, hoping someone woke. But not here. Here, every door along the river gave way at a touch. He could step in out of the water, into a stranger's warm kitchen, sit by a stranger's banked fire, and no one would think it strange in the morning. He didn't have to ask. That was the whole point. When the water's climbing toward your knees, asking permission is a thing you cannot afford. So the valley took that worry away, one unlocked door at a time. And Marin's cottage, closest of all to the pond, was the surest refuge of them. Marin used to say the river taught her the one thing worth knowing. You cannot argue with rising water. You cannot bargain with the rain, or scold the pond back into its banks, or lie awake commanding the sky to clear. The weather was never hers to hold, but the door was hers. Whether it opened, whether the lamp burned, whether the kettle sat warm by the coals, those were the small things she could answer for. So she let the great things be great and unruled, and she tended with all her care the little circles she could reach. An old teacher named Epictetus said something close to this by an oil lamp 2,000 years ago. Some things are up to us, he said, and some are not. Peace lives in knowing which is which and letting the rest be. So on the wet nights, she made her small kingdom ready. She filled the kettle. She set out the plain cups, more than she needed, in case the night brought more than one cold traveler. She laid an extra blanket, folded over the back of the chair. And then she did the hardest and simplest thing of all. She let the rest go. She did not stand at the window wringing her hands at the water. She did not count the inches. She trusted the door to do its quiet work, and she let herself rest, half awake, listening to the rain find its rhythm on the roof. If someone came, she would rise and pour the tea. If no one came, the tea would keep. Either way, the door was open, and the part that was hers to do was already done. The years went by the way water goes by. Marin grew slower and softer, like the cloth on her table. The village changed around the pond. New roads came, and higher banks, and the great floods grew rare, then rarer still. Fewer travelers ever needed the open door, but she kept the custom anyway, long after the danger had thinned to almost nothing. Every evening she banked the fire, set the kettle near the coals, and left the door swinging free on its hinges. It had stopped being a rule about the river. It had become something gentler, a way of saying, to anyone at all, you are welcome here. You need not knock, you need not explain. The lamp in her window grew familiar to every tired soul who ever walked that path at night, and slowly, one warm cup at a time, the survival habit turned into a legend of kindness. They tell it differently now, the people who remember. They say the cottage by the Willow pond keeps a fire that never fully dies, and a door that has forgotten how to lock. They say if you come in from the cold, tired past the point of asking, you'll find a cup already steaming on the long pine table, as though someone knew you were coming. And in a way, someone did. Not a ghost, not a trick of the water. Just 100 years of a habit so deeply kept that the cottage itself seems to lean toward the door, waiting to be gentle to whoever arrives. The lamp is lower now. The rain has softened to a patter. Your eyes are heavy, and that's exactly right. There is nothing left to keep watch over. The door does the watching, the way it always has. Lie here a while longer in the warm dark. Let the story loosen its edges. The pond outside is calm tonight. No water is rising. No lantern is out on the path. There is only the slow breath of a house at rest and the low glow of coals going gray. Marin is long gone now, but the things she understood stayed behind in the wood, in the hinges. She could not rule the river. No one could. But she could leave a door open and a light on. and a kettle warm, and that turned out to be enough. Enough to shelter a stranger, enough to outlast her by a century, enough to reach you here, tonight, in a bed that holds you like the bank holds the pond. The great things stay great and out of our hands. The small kind ones are ours to keep. And here's the quiet heart of it, the thing worth carrying down into sleep. The open door was never blind trust, an unlocked door so a neighbor never had to knock. That's all it ever was, a promise made against the water, kept so long it became love. The lamp gutters low. The pond and the rain and the warm room begin to blur together. One soft, dark thing. You don't need to follow the story any further. Let it go on without you now, the way the river goes on past a sleeping house. The tea has gone cool on the table, and that's all right. There will be another cup, and another traveler, and another quiet night by the willows. Let your breathing slow to the rhythm of the water. There is nothing to guard. The door is open, and everything is well. The lamp is out now. The willow pond holds the last of the light, and the door, as it always was, stays open to the dark. Rest here. You were expected. Good night.